Welcome everybody. Well, I'm really excited to show you how to make a poppet today. I made a video earlier today about voodoo dolls, poppets, spirit dolls. Please go watch that video so that you have a context in order to understand why we make poppets. I primarily make poppets for the purpose of healing and protection, and you can think of a poppet as a talisman. This is something I make for clients. It's something that I make and I sell. And primarily when I make a doll, the intention is to bring prosperity, health, wellness, love, maybe even fertility to the person that I'm helping. So I'm going to teach you how to construct a doll. You don't need ribbons. You don't need a ribbon to create the doll. I'm actually going to be showing you how to make a doll without using ribbons, which I like better. But for all intent and purpose, this is what an end product can look like, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. I want to show you what kind of materials that you're going to need. Remember that when you're creating a poppet or a doll like this, at any point in time, you can stuff inside the doll whatever you like. Herbs, rocks, crystals, a bone, a chicken foot, whatever the hell you want to put inside this doll, you can put inside this doll at any point in time during the construction, because actually this poppet does contain herbs which are meant for the purposes of healing. So what kind of things, what materials do you need? Well, as far as complicated materials are concerned, you're going to definitely need to get a hot glue gun, just a little hot glue gun. You're going to need, for filler, Spanish moss. A hot glue gun and Spanish moss can be purchased at Michael's. I recommend that when you make your poppets that you do it on a hard surface like a table, like I'm doing right now, because that Spanish moss really does get everywhere. You're going to need scissors. And I just dropped something. What did I drop? You're going to need popsicle sticks. I have a big popsicle stick and a small popsicle stick, and I'm going to need rubber bands to fasten the Spanish moss easily to my sticks. I'm going to have some buttons because she's going to have yellow eyes and a little red mouth, and this fabric. Now what I do is I go to Walmart, and Walmart has just swatches of fabrics. This is just a big square piece of fabric, sample fabric. You can even get sample fabric. But this is from Walmart. This is like my honey pot, my lucky honey, my lucky honey fabric from Walmart that I like. So you can use that. So what we're gonna do to get started is, the first thing I'm gonna do is create my cross. We're going to keep this very, very simple and to the point today, because I don't want to do all kinds of stuff, make this complicated, because magic is not complicated. It really is not. So I'm going to fasten my popsicle stick. Okay, that's good enough. And I'm going to put that to the side. First thing I want to do is cut my fabric. So how am I going to cut my fabric? I'm trying to make sure that I get everything into the video. So this piece of fabric is folded in half. This fabric is folded in half. See? So what I want to do is I'm going to create the gown or the dress for the poppet. And what I want to do is I just want to like take my hand and put it over top of the edge of the fabric. I just want to cut maybe 1/3 of this fabric off. So I'm going to pretend that this is good enough. And it probably will be good enough. You don't have to worry about making it pretty, because poppets are actually cooler when they look a little wild. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of fabric, you see, and I'm also going to cut a little hole up here where it's folded. Because this is where the head of my poppet is going to come out of. See, I created a little tunic. Created a little shirt. You see? So now that I created my little shirt, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to keep the fabric folded, because I want long strings of fabric that are going to act as my ties or my bands. So I'm going to go ahead and show you this. This is going to be the style of this particular poppet. As you can see, I've created a string of fabric for my poppet. Well, let's go ahead and do it, shall we? No reason to do all kinds of editing yet. This is good because you also see how long it takes me to actually put together a poppet. If you do this right and you know what you're doing, it doesn't take longer than about a half an hour, maybe 20 minutes. Usually so when you're actually making your magic and your poppets and whatever it is that you're doing, you know, you want to set your intention. The intention that I'm setting for this particular poppet is it's going to be a good luck poppet. This is going to be a good luck poppet. And just remember that the only person who knows what goes inside of your poppet, as far as your magical ingredients are concerned, is you. Matter of fact, I would recommend that you never reveal your mysteries. You never reveal your secrets to other people about what you actually use. You might, you know, don't get in the habit of sharing your business and your magic with other people. Don't post your stuff online. I am making a YouTube video and I'm posting my magic for you to see for posterity purposes, so that when I'm gone, hopefully, people will find this video and learn something from me, from my videos on witchcraft and magic. Don't post your stuff online. Other witches and other people don't need to see how you practice your magic. Let them figure it out for themselves. You know, magic is an art and a science. This is the artistic part. The scientific part is knowing the proper correspondences and the proper ingredients to put inside the doll in order to generate that sympathetic effect of bringing wealth, prosperity, and good luck. We're almost done. So you want to, like, definitely get plenty of material, because it's this material that we're creating here. These strings that are going to make the doll look badass. I love cutting up fabric. It's very, very calming. I might make the last couple of pieces of fabric a little bit wider. There. Look at that. Look at all that fabric. Great. I do not need my scissors any longer, at least not right this second. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my fabric away, and we're going to go into using rubber bands and Spanish moss to make a poppet. So I'm going to take a whole bunch of Spanish moss, and let me tell you, this stuff gets everywhere. I kind of want to take a big chunk of Spanish moss, and I want to make a long strip. A long strip. Then I'm going to take the Spanish moss, and I'm going to start wrapping it, pull it taut. I'm going to start wrapping the Spanish moss around the stick, these sticks. This is going to be very sloppy, okay? And when I say sloppy, I mean you don't have to be concerned about doing this right or wrong. There's no right or wrong way to make one of these things. See? I'm just winding around the stick until I get to the very bottom. And then I'm gonna eventually cut this bottom part off. I guess I do need my scissors. I'll cut this bottom part off for right now. Okay? Now, to keep this secure, I'm just going to go ahead and use a rubber band or rubber bands to bind my Spanish moss to my popsicle stick, especially around the bottom, around the base. You want that to be nice and tight. You don't want that going anywhere. Now what I want to do is I need more moss. If I start sneezing, it's because I'm very allergic to this stuff, but oh well, what are you gonna do? Now I'm going to wrap moss around the head. Pull it tight and wrap it around the arm. This Spanish moss also is going to conform to however you choose to squeeze and manipulate it. You see how I'm squeezing it here? Now I'm going to put a rubber band around the arm. See? Put a rubber band around the head. Come on now. There. Ta-da! Yes, it's very, very messy. Witchcraft is messy. My love Jennifer, Witchfoot, likes to say ugly but effective. And I think ugly but effective is a very good way to explain the way I practice magic also. I'm gonna wrap this arm up, wrap up. Come on now, come on now. There we go. Good, that's exactly what I wanted to do. Now I'm gonna bind this side. And I'm gonna bind the chest. Okay. So it's at this point in time, or prior to this point in time, that you would go ahead and fix your doll by putting whatever herbs and things that you want inside the doll or around the doll. And because right now I'm not in the mood for... See, I start doing something and then I get really super lazy about it. Since I'm not really in the mood right this second to spell cast, since I'm in the middle of having a teaching moment here, I'm gonna actually just use this as my demonstration doll. So I'm not gonna stuff it right now. I have plenty of fabric. The client that ordered this particular doll, I will make them their doll later when I have time to chill. This doll is a little thin right here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just this little bit of fabric here, this little bit of Spanish moss, and I want to wrap it up a little bit more so that I want my poppet to be even, or as even as possible. Yes. I hope you guys can see this. Okay. Beautiful. That's where vacuum cleaners come in. All right, so voila. Poppet. So let's go ahead and get all this crap out of the way. And let's go ahead and put on her tunic. So we're going to plop her little head right through here. And there. Now what are we going to do? Now we're going to go into this whole situation of tying the poppet. Tying Miss Poppet. So I can fold the fabric like that. Then I'm going to take a string of fabric and I'm going to bind her just like I'm giving her a little belt. Yes, I have to use my teeth. And what I want to do is I want to see how much room I have here at the bottom. And I'm just going to take my scissors and cut off the excess at the bottom that I don't want. Voila. So this poppet is going to get kind of like a little corset kind of look, because I'm going to continue to tie fabric around her. And I want, for this particular poppet, I want to tie the knot in the back. Okay. So you're kind of like giving your little poppet a little cummerbund. Like I said, people, there is no right or wrong way to do this. And I find that I guess you could say the sloppier, could you say sloppy? The sloppier this looks, the more I like it. I'm not looking to create something that's pretty. I'm trying to create something that is powerful, useful, and purposeful. This is a talisman. This doll has a purpose, which is more important than how perfect it turns out. You see? There we go. Now if I want to right now, because getting a lot of string action going on, I'm going to take all of these strings here and I'm going to clip them just to get them out of my way. You see? Don't cut myself. Don't cut yourself, Philip. Now remember I said I was going to do a thicker part. That's because down here at the bottom, what I want to do is I take this thicker piece of fabric and I'm going to kind of go ahead and wrap it around multiple times. See? So that when I tie it at the bottom, this is really super tight. Super tight. Yeah, there we go. Now I have bound all of my Spanish moss very, very, very tight inside my doll. See? I'm going to also wrap my doll, creating a kind of like sash. Because I'm trying to keep all of my materials inside the doll, so I'm crossing some fabric across her chest. I've determined that this is the back side of my doll. Okay, that's one side. Now I'm going to cover her up on the other side. So like I said before, you're going to have plenty of fabric from that swatch that you get from Walmart. And here's the thing, you know, I've made Harry Potter dolls. See? I've made Harry Potter dolls. Star Wars dolls. All kinds of dolls. Okay, so we're gonna pretend that that is all stuffed with junk. And what I need to do is hit pause right now, because there's one thing I forgot. When you get your fabric, okay, you're gonna wanna also get plain white fabric. So I need to go grab my plain white fabric, because we need white fabric for the face. I'm not even gonna hit pause. Okay, beautiful. So as you can see, I have some white fabric here. The white fabric I have literally is just for the faces of my dolls. So all I need to do is cut a strip here, about 1 inch wide, 1.5 inches wide. Because it is going to wrap around her face more than once. How did I do this before? I'm going to bring it around this way. I'm going to bring it around this way. And I'm going to tie it. Ha! You see? There we go. There's her little face. Okay. There we go. Now, getting back to having our hot glue gun, first thing I want to do is put her little mouth on her. Then I want to put her little eyes on her. Oh, yellow eyes. There, just like that. Just like that. And that, everybody, is the very, very simple way of creating a doll. If I wanted to right now, I could actually just tighten her up. So this particular doll is going to be just a doll that I'm going to put out on display. Maybe I'll put it on my altar and dedicate it to one of my spirits, or give it as a gift. Whenever I make dolls and they're not particularly set for any particular reason, I'll give them to my spirits as something for them to attach themselves to. So there you go, everybody. That is 30 minutes to create a really, really cute, very, very simple, old school Poppet. I'm very proud of her. And now go forth into the world and make your own Poppets, and make sure you put in your intentions and your fortune cookie. You can use fortune cookies, you know, the little messages that are in fortune cookies, or you can write a note of intention, or you can even write with the magic marker on the popsicle sticks what your spell is, your incantation, your runes. You see what I'm saying? So the inside of the doll can be whatever it is that you want it to be, and the outside of the doll will be very, very simple. All right? Okay, guys, have a great rest of the day.